Midlife crisis is still going on. Yes, of course. It'll probably be going on until I'm dead.
Been gone for a while. What's up with the shades?
I just like them. I decided a little while ago to start dressing well at all times. Like I don't really dress casual anymore, and it pretty much exclusively for the moment wear a button-down shirt of some sort. I personally like them to be flashy, because I like the 90s cocaine dealer vibe of them. I think it's funny and a little bit ironic, but I also I like the look. I always have, ever since the 90s. I've thought it was a cool look, but you know, I never wanted to. You get wrapped up in your own apprehensions, and I never did it. Well, now I don't give a shit. And so I decided to start dressing like that at all times, and I quite enjoy it. It also makes me dress nicer for the show, so I'm not showing up in t-shirts and shit like that. Along with that came, you know, various accessorizing, belts, shoes, sunglasses. And so I just like them. That's all. My shirt would be 3 times that size and not faggot purple. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm going for a particular aesthetic that I happen to enjoy, which involves faggot purple. All right. I didn't say you should have to like it or like wear it. I don't want you guys to dress the same as me. I want to dress like me, and you should dress like you. My neck is looking thicker. Okay. When I've said some of this before, so I apologize if you've heard it. But when I was arrested, I was 150 pounds. I was very, very thin. You know, I had cocaine makes you lose weight, right? And I definitely enjoyed getting down to 165 while on cocaine. I did. That was I was at 206 when I started my weight loss journey. I was not doing drugs when I started my weight loss journey. That happened later. That was an unintended side effect. I didn't do cocaine to lose weight. Like I just did it because I was like, wow, this stuff's really fun. Don't do it. Like it tells your brain that it's fun. Like that's what it does. It chemically does that, right? Like, so you try it and you're like, oh, this is awesome. That's a chemical reaction in your brain that makes you think that. All right. So please don't misunderstand me as endorsing it. I'm not. This was a disastrous decision in my life, but it happened. And so we're just going to like go with it because that's what happened. You know, a side effect of that was I lost a lot of weight, which was intentional. And I enjoyed that. But then I got sick after getting to 165, which is where I wanted to be. I got sick and I lost another 15 pounds. There were 2 stretches right in that kind of in that last month before I got arrested. So I guess in April, well, late April, early May, there were 2 stretches where I was sick for 10 days in a row and I couldn't eat. And I had about a week break between those. It's 2 different sicknesses. It was not fun. Very unfun. I got down to 150 and I didn't have time to build back up from there before getting arrested. So that sucked, but I looked terrible. I was very thin, sickly and all that shit. I'm now around 185 pounds, which is where I wanted to be eventually after getting down to 165, building back up. And, but when I wanted to lose weight the first time, all of my weight was carried in my stomach. Cause you know, as you get older like that, you just start gaining belly fat unless you're really intentional about it. So, as I built back, I've mostly, I got a little jiggle in there, but not too bad. I've mostly kept the weight away from my stomach and gained it in more appropriate areas like my dick. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. But you know, like, my upper torso rather than my lower torso and stuff like that. So I'm in a pretty healthy place right now for weight and I like the overall shape of my body. I need to like get in the gym and like, you know, harden it up a little bit. But other than that, like things are going well. Got to remember 10 pounds of Nick's weight is in his nose. This is a side note. So, like obviously, this affected my whole family. There's no way around it, right? But despite what people think, and despite false reports that were made, that they did not, those false reports were made and have shaped perception about things in regards to me and my children. That said, those false reports did not cause me to have cocaine, and that, like, I'm not blaming them for my choices. All right. Like, so let's be clear on this. My kids lived through everything. So they they know what happened and what didn't happen. They know. They didn't know that there was anything going on at all. Like, they had no idea. And because nothing was ever done around them, in front of them. That's all false. That being said, they now know, because the police are like, oh, by the way, your parents are doing drugs. I'm like, thanks. Thanks, guys. That was helpful. And so it's now just a fact. And so like they have permission to make fun of me about it, all the time. But one of my daughters the other day was like, Dad, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault doing cocaine or whatever, because your nose is so big. You just breathed in and did everybody's cocaine automatically. I was like, yes, thank you. Thank you for shaming me. But they have a good sense of humor about it, because again, like, it happened now. So what do you do? What do you do? Common Sense 952 says, I've almost got divorced since Nick read my super chat 3 years ago during my 25th anniversary. Well, I've gone through quite a bit of changes, and I don't believe. Let me rephrase that. I think we overemphasize preserving the institution, and in doing so, we forget about the people who are under the institution. And I think there are times when a marriage maybe should end, but that time, if people want to fight for their marriage, they should. That's true. My theory used to always be to always encourage people to fight for the marriage. And what I found out was that unknowingly, I had encouraged people to stay in marriages where there was abuse going on, and and other issues that I did not know about. I didn't know about those things, but I encouraged people to remain in those relationships. And if I could go back, I would change those decisions. And I'd get more information about what was going on before just blindly encouraging people to preserve the marriage because it has the word marriage attached to it. Some of those relationships may have been a marriage at one point and aren't anymore, despite the fact there's a legal status of being married, but the relationship itself is just ahead of the legal status. As for you personally, I hope that whatever you are looking for, you find. I think that's more important than me saying, oh, like, I hope your marriage is saved. I don't know what your problems are. I have no idea who you are, and I have no idea what you want. So I won't blindly encourage that. What I will say is this: 25 years is a long time to have put into something, and whatever decision you make, it's important and critical. So make it intentionally. Don't be led into staying or going. Choose to stay or go. That's what you should do. But I hope you find peace, whatever it is. No way this Kurt guy did all his CLEs. Well, I didn't do all of mine. I was busy, like, shivering in bed, thinking I should be, unalived or whatever. For a little bit, and I wasn't really worried about doing CLEs. They're on my list of things to do pretty soon. Other things have been way more important. I don't really utilize my license. I have it because I worked hard for it, And I maintain it because I worked hard for it. And I'm happy to do the requirements. It just, right now they've been, they became low priority when everything else needed to be dealt with. But I'll be working on them soon. Nakadashi Tomodachi says, "Hey, it's Ian again. Sorry about your worst day." Okay. Who the fuck is, I don't know who you are.